Hey guys, so today we're going to be going over some airsoft tactics, tips, and training or potential training you can do at the house in order to prepare yourself for the next airsoft excursion or adventure you're going to go on. So let's first talk about what exactly airsoft is. Airsoft is a game. It is a military simulation game. The things you do in airsoft that you can get away with, you most likely will not be able to get away with in a real world scenario. Now, some things are translatable, such as weapon handling, such as pine corners. Those things are translatable into a real still firing world, real still world of actual firearms training and weapon handling. You should not go through and use airsoft as a, if I can master airsoft, I can master a real firearm. No, two very different things. Keep that in mind, take it with a grain of salt. So one of the very first things you can do at the house is familiarize yourself with the weapon. So see how your different weapon functions. If you have a telescopic stock, if you've got a sight, if you've got a charging handle or charging bolt, my stock slings below the gun. Work on familiarizing yourself with it. Get it set up so you can actually shoulder your weapon, aim down the sight, and feel comfortable, going back to the point of raising your gun up, getting ready to fire. Something you can easily do. Next thing you can do, work on actually loading your weapon. If you have to sit there and think, oh, which side goes in the gun, yada yada yada, how does it go in? That is time that takes away from reloading and therefore makes you less combat effective if you're struggling trying to figure out how to load your gun. So go through, unloading, reloading, going back and forth. I am a M4 weapons person. I don't actually use AKs very often, so I have to myself at the house just go through practice. Whenever you can do it without looking, it's a step up. So that's something I'm having to work on myself as well. So that's definitely a step you can do. Another thing, while you're typically a dominant on either your right or your left hand side, typically work on practicing changing hands, using your other shoulder in order to aim. And once you go through and you have been able to try both sides and you feel confident going through, from rest, up, go through, stand behind a wall. Don't hit your wall with your airsoft replica. So make sure you maintain a healthy distance back behind the wall. So we have a wall right back here. Come right back, down at rest, up, down, up. Practice what we call peeking. If you can go through and peek your corner without exposing yourself exponentially, it's even better. But just going through and practicing being at a rest, being up, and peeking out is something you can do at the house as well. So another thing you can do is practice going through and rounding corners, because whenever you're going through and you are actually clearing a building, you don't want to go through and expose yourself unnecessarily or be unready to return fire whenever you round a corner. So this is really applicable when you're by yourself, going through and looking forward, looking forward. But when you have a team, you want to be focused on moving forward and covering ground. If you're the front man, the front man is always forward. Then you have your second man, which is back to behind you to your right hand side. So his muzzle should be right in front of your shoulder, right here to the side. So you're forward, he's right here on your side, he's watching your very right hand side. So whenever you're going to round the corner, say like wall right, wall left, he's going to be able to take the guys off to the right or left and protect you. And you have your guy sat behind him, your third man, he's watching your left hand side. So he is even further back, but he's got you covered. Now when I say he's further back, no, he's not here and you're here all the way across the camera. No, you are literally as close as you possibly can be without tripping over each other. That way you're not giving the enemy time to think and react to your presence. So whenever you're moving in, if the front man's killed, the enemy doesn't have time to actually switch from one target to the other before your friendly guy has reacquisitioned his gun in sight to the enemy hostile and send a shot down range at him. So that's another concept you can work on. So if you're at your home, just focus on rounding corners, going through, peeking corners. We're called moving forward and move smooth. So as what my team leaders on our airsoft team have discussed, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. It's kind of a rhetorical saying, but it honestly makes a lot of sense if you think about it. If you're going through and you're trying to be Mr. Speedy, you have your magazine in your back pocket and whatnot, and you're going through, reloading, you're fumbling around, trying to figure it out, finally get it in there, that's too fast. Slow is smooth. I'm gonna rest, reload. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. I'm able to go through, put it in a lot quicker because I'm not fumbling around trying to rush into it and reloading quicker. Same thing with walking through your quarters. If you're rounding a corner, going up, rounding a corner, you're walking fast, you're being sloppy, you're not gonna shoot. You're gonna miss, or you're not gonna shoot. You will probably shoot, but you'll probably miss. You'll miss important details. You miss that one little muzzle sticking out around the corner that you would have seen if you could take it slower. And therefore, when you're walking forward, that little muzzle pops you in the face. Boom, done. So instead, when you're rounding a corner, take it at whatever pace you personally can go at. So round the corner, gut up, go forward, be smooth, move. Don't actually rush into it. Another thing, what you can practice at the home and whatnot is familiarizing yourself with your weapon in regards to how it functions. So your battery compartment, an AK, at the very top, familiarize yourself with how to open it up and put it back together. I've had the most difficult time learning how to actually put the top of the AK back on, but the more I've worked with it at the house, when I'm at the field and if it pops off, I'm not sitting there struggling trying to figure out how it goes back on. I know how to go back on. I know how to adjust the hop up at the house. So I learned, pull the charging handle back, your hop up is right here. You can access it that way. Now, do I recommend if you're new to airsoft, going through and tearing the whole gun down and rebuilding it from scratch? Not on your first time. Watch some videos, familiarize yourself with how it looks before you go through and disassemble your whole gun. Now, I always recommend self-growth and self-improvement, but I'd rather you go through and practice the basics first before you practice the more techie stuff, because if you're brand spanking new and you have no technical skill whatsoever, it may be kind of difficult for you to put it back together the exact same way. Although, do at your own risk. Besides that, nothing you can do at the house, which is, I cannot stress this enough. Watch videos, watch more videos. You're doing the right thing, you're watching this video, and if you stuck around this long. Watch more videos on YouTube on how to correctly pike corners. Go through at different angles. I don't know the proper angles. I learned the hard way. I learned that whenever I'm popping out around a corner, looking around, if I go out too far and overextend myself, I'm gonna get shot. So I've learned to I'm almost not like winging it. I'm kind of going where I feel comfortable at. So after a while, I've developed muscle memory, and so I realized when I come around, I do small pieces, until I made it all the way around. But that works for me. I'm not saying it's going to work for you. So go through, watch videos, and learn how to actually properly do that. If you can't get to the field, practice like I practice, because I just practice by losing. I've been shot in the face trying to pie a corner more times than I can count. So eventually, you think it would stick. Another thing you can do when you're practicing peeking, make sure you push your dominant foot. So if you're peeking at the very right hand side, it's common practice for me at least to put my dominant foot backwards. So if I'm peeking around this corner right here to my very right hand side, my right leg I want to automatically put backwards. That's wrong. I'm popping out, I'm not able to lean out as much, and I'm therefore exposing more of my side, whatnot. Right foot forward. It may feel weird, may feel awkward, but I promise you, it seems to work out a lot more this way than it does the other way. Right foot forward, gut up, and lean. You want to lean over as much as you possibly can, or not possibly, more as you comfortably can, because if you're going through and you're just all over and you're not able to shoot, that does not work out very well. You're not going to return fire. Lean over as much as you comfortably can and safely can, and that way you don't expose as much of your side. You're exposing more of your shoulder, arm, face, and gun. And also, whenever you're peeking, try to make sure you're already up at a rest. Don't practice peeking, gun down, and then putting gun up. No. When you are ready to peek, fully commit. So replica up, peek over, already up that way. Zap, zap, every time. Another thing you can focus on or practice on, trying to win the corner. So if you go through and you expose yourself to shoot, and you see that guy exposed, you shoot, boom, you see him pop around the corner, don't just pop back into cover, because that one guy you shot at moved away. If he's moved away, you know there's no other threats around, hold that corner. Don't just automatically pop back in, where you take the corner, you drop the gun you're watching, you wait for him to pop back out. You just lost your advantage, and you've given the advantage back to him, because now he has the element of surprise. You're not ready. So practice that yourself. Practice holding your gun at firing position, on the go. Don't just practice holding your gun at rest. So those are a few tactics that I know off the top of my head that you can practice at the house and try to gain more of an awareness and a readiness for your next airsoft excursion. So thank y'all for sticking around, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.